Do you know about the rule in Rylands versus Fletcher? Hello, distinguished friends. I'm Legalize Mimi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and repost. My page is quite informative. We'll talk about the law, the reasons you need a lawyer, and general issues of life. Okay. So the rule in Rylands versus Fletcher is a strict liability tort. Okay, so I've told you in my previous videos that tort is a civil wrong which entitles the claimant or plaintiff to a redress in the court of law. Then being a strict liability tort means that the defendant, that is the wrongdoer, is liable for the consequences of his actions, whether or not he was at fault. Okay, so what does the rule in Rylands versus Fletcher state? It states that a person who for his own purposes brings on his land, collects and keeps on his land, anything likely to cause mischief if it escapes, does so at his own peril, or if he does not do so, he is prima facie answerable for all the damages which is the natural consequences of its escape. So what are the characteristics of this rule in Rylands versus Fletcher? Okay, bringing and keeping on one's land, a non-natural user, duty to keep it at your own peril, escape of the thing that causes damage, so that non-natural user escapes and causes damage, and then of course liability for the natural consequences of its escape to another person's land. Okay, so let's deal with bringing such a non-natural user on your land. So where a defendant by himself or by a third party or through an independent contractor brings a non-natural user to his land, and you bring those things for enjoyment, for commerce, or for some other purposes. Okay, let me give you an example. In the case of CROWHURST versus AMERSHAM Burial Board, I'm going to supply the citation. The defendant board planted a poisonous tree, the yew trees, and the branches protruded into the plaintiff's compound, and then the horse ate the poisoned leaf and then died. So you see that that poisonous tree is a non-natural user, and then it escaped. The branches escaped, protruded to the plaintiff's land, and then it caused damage to the plaintiff's land. That is his property. That is the horse. The horse is his property. Okay, so that is an example of a non-natural user. Okay, but however, vegetations that grow naturally, like grass, weed, when it escapes to the plaintiff's land, of course, the plaintiff can't be responsible for that. Then water which naturally flows like a river, you can't tell the plaintiff to be responsible for that. Or rainfall, do you understand? The plaintiff can't be responsible for that. So you see that to every general rule, there are exceptions to it, and that is why you need a lawyer. Okay, so there was an escape of the non-natural user. So if you bring a non-natural user to your land and then it escapes and then causes damage, the plaintiff has to show that such non-natural user caused damage to him. You understand? For him to be for the defendant to be liable under this rule. So let's see an example of its application in Nigeria. We'll take the case of UMUDJE versus Shell BP Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited. I'm going to supply the citation. Wherein, in the course of its oil exploration activities, the defendant's company diverted a natural stream, denying the plaintiff of water and fish. Also, oil waste accumulated by the defendant also escaped and caused damage to the plaintiff's land. Here, the court held that the defendant's respondent company was liable for the escape of the crude oil waste that caused damage to the plaintiff's land and killed fish therein. So this is a simple example of the application of this rule in Nigeria. So if you're a defendant and an action is instituted against you for the rule in Rylands versus Fletcher, what defenses are available to you? You can talk about the act of God, fault of the plaintiff, contributory negligence, consent of the plaintiff, act of a stranger or a third party, statutory authority, and so forth. So I hope this has been helpful to you. See you next time.